Welcome to the channel. If you've been with us in the past, you will know that KL Tech Videos, amateurs, by amateurs for amateurs, is literally there to provide guides and entertainment and helpful tips and tricks for all your tech needs. Today, we're going to be talking about Hetzner, which essentially is a platform that offers VPS, online servers and computers, dedicated storage boxes, managed firewalls, and cloud computing technologies. If you've watched my previous video on Duplicati, which is a backup utility that we use here at KL Tech Videos and thousands of people across the world, you'll know that as part of the 3-2-1 method, we use what's called an offsite backup. Well, Hetzner is brilliant for that because you can have a Hetzner box, a storage box as they're called, or a dumb computer for like £13 a month for 5 terabytes. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to show you how to add that into Duplicati and spin that box up. So essentially, as you can see on the web platform here, you've and I'll put all these links in the pinned comment below, so it's a case of copy and paste everything and click away. You've got these quick, secure and cheap online backup solutions, right? You've got box 11, box 21, box 31, box 41, and there are varying degrees of other boxes that you can get. I use box 21 myself. It's €10.90 with VAT in the United Kingdom. It works out as about £13 a month, and I get invoiced every month for it. I'm only using half of it at the moment anyway, but it's better to have a little bit more than you need. If you think you're only going to need something like 1 terabyte because you don't actually have that much to back up yet, that's fine. You can pick the 1 terabyte option. You can actually upgrade to 5 terabytes later. Just make sure that you do have a reliable payment method, because I have heard stories in the past where people have missed a payment, not checked that email, and then literally within a couple of days to a couple of weeks, your data's gone. So make sure you have a reliable payment method that you can use with them. What you would do is you would click on box 21 order. If you already have an account, you'd log in and just order this. Essentially you can click order, and then you can create an account and log in, if you will. If you don't have an account, you register now. As I already do, I'm going to go to the part that you would be taken to, which would be storage boxes. Now, I've already got one, you can see here, but for the sake of the demonstration, we're going to click Create Storage Box. You get to pick 2 options, Germany or Finland, and that's totally up to you. I went with the closer of the 2 for just connection speeds. I'm pretty sure they're negligible, but in my tech mind, closer, less ping, less latency, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, you pick your region, you pick your box. We've gone for the box 21, for example. Now at this point, create yourself an access password, because you'll be using this to access your box in a little bit of time. We can always disable it later, but an access password makes this whole setup a lot more easier. And then down here, we've got additional settings, and we're going to hit SSH support because we're going to be installing the private part of our key, because SSH keys have a public side and a private side. We're going to be installing the private side of the key onto the server in a second, and I'll show you how that works, and the server being the storage box. And then we've got storage box 2, for example, right? So I'm not going to actually buy another one. I'm just showing you the setup process. You would then click create and buy. It would go through a few minutes of creating that and setting it up for you, at which point you would be able to go to the Hetzner console. I will leave it a link in the pinned comment below so you can get back to there. And essentially what would happen is you would see your storage box by here. And if you click on your storage box, you should be able to see all the little details, the link to your storage box. I'm going to blur out a lot of this because obviously it's very private and you wouldn't want to share it. And then down below here, you've got SSH support ticked because we added that in earlier on. It'll tell you your username here with a little person and your link, and then whatever you've called your storage box. And that's pretty much set up as far as Hetzner is required. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is create our SSH key so that Duplicati can access Hetzner storage box. to do that, we're going to type this command into the command prompt, and I will put this in the pinned comment below for you so you can just copy and paste. And we're doing this in Windows PowerShell. You could be doing this on Linux, whatever you need to, the commands are roughly the same. So we're going to call this the Hetzner Duplicati key. I don't need to put demonstration on the end. I was going to, but I'm not going to now. Right, so we're going to do that. We're going to put that in here. It says, do you want a passphrase or not? We're not going to use one. You can if you want to, but we don't need it. And then the SSH key is created. But what we now need to do is install this onto our storage box. So the next command we're going to run is this cat. So it just displays on the screen exactly what the key is. Don't forget to take out demonstration or whatever you've chosen. All links and commands will be below. And then what we've got here is we've got the file, the .pub file for our public key. The pipe SSH port 23, really important because that's the port that we access storage box SSH over. Your username at your link, and although it looks like the username is in there twice, that's just the subdomain of your storage box happens to also be a username. And then we've got install -ssh key. Asks your access password. This is what we created earlier on, hence why it's come in handy now. There we go. So that's now installed on there. Now the last step is to extract our private key by running the following command, and that is the key that you're going to want to save and put somewhere safe. If we created a new backup, you could say this is your Hetzner Offsite. Highly recommend you put in some type of security in there, by the way. We're not going for this demonstration, but definitely encrypt your backups, because when your data leaves Duplicati and it goes to your Hetzner storage console, although it is protected under your password and username, if that was to ever be breached, they wouldn't have that password for your encryption. So definitely do that. For demonstration purposes, I'm not just to skip ahead. Then we're going to choose in the backup destination SSH. The server we're going to get from our console. So we're going to go to storage boxes. We're going to copy our link by clicking on our link, putting that in there. The port is 23. The folder path we're going to put as always home first, because that's the storage path that you have access to in your storage box. And then you can call it whatever you want. So if we say test, that's absolutely fine. The username we can get from our console as well. And then advanced options, SSH key. And then what we've got to do is just out of our console there, copy, including those dashes, our private key, at which point we can go to the top and click test destination. It'll ask you to approve the host key because you've not used this in this particular backup before. That's absolutely fine. And then it says connection tested successfully. You can then proceed to choose what data you want to back up on your system, what type of schedule you want to run with that, what type of volume size you're going to want with that. Now, personally, there's no harm in sticking to something like 50 megabyte files. That makes it really quick when you want to restore, because it searches through those files really quickly. Backup retention, smart backup retention is perfectly fine. And then under advanced options, what you're going to want to do is look for asynchronous concurrent upload limits, because Hetzner allows you to have 10 connections maximum. To err on the side of caution, I would recommend putting something like 8 in that field. And that just means that as soon as it starts reaching about 8, it's not going to allow any more. Therefore, you're not going to get cut off while you're uploading large quantities of files or data, because you're under your limit always. And then you just go ahead and click submit, and that will start that backup procedure according to the schedule that you've implemented. I'm actually going to edit an existing one and just update it with my private key. Again, test that destination. And you'll see that it's tested successfully. And remember, we didn't put an SSH key in during the setup, and I removed all those from my server. Now you might say to yourself, Keith, this is all good and well, but what if I want to remove those SSH keys from my server? What if I want to change keys, almost effectively like changing passwords? keep things secure. Well, you should know how to do that, and I didn't know how to do that originally. It made common sense after I discovered it. But to do that, all we've got to do is this. Go back to your console, and then we're going to do SSH-port 23, your username and your link, put in your access password that we created earlier on. And that basically puts us in our home directory of our server. If we do change directory.ssh and then ls, these are authorized keys. Now, you could hook this up to something like an SFTP client and edit these files on your computer. Just make sure you've got encryption enabled, HTTPS or TLS SSL certificates. Personally, knowing that we can now just very easily install SSH keys in the manner that I've just shown you a few seconds ago, I think the easiest thing to do here is simply just to remove the authorized keys file, right? At which point, if we go back to Duplicati and test the destination, it's immediately locked out. Again, if we want to re-enable that, we can just create a new SSH file as I'm showing you, install that file, and then get the private key. It's as simple as that. So I hope that's given you some in-depth information on how to use a Hetzner storage box. It's something I wish I had when I was first doing this. And yeah, whether you're on Linux, Windows, whatever, that should work perfectly fine for you. Now you've seen how to do that. Even ZeamaOS or CasaOS through the terminal, which you can access either at the top of the screen in the terminal button on the left, or the dev console in the settings of ZeamaOS, you can run these type of commands. So thanks very much for watching. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one.